Hey, whoever snaps this Tortimer the Grey, welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Grey version Season 2. This week we are in our third gym battle in the, well, not third gym battle in the RU tier, but we're in the RU tier doing our third gym battle up against the Fire Gym, going up against Gym Trainer Codeman to start here with his, a little bit of a short on numbers team, but that's what Codeman's known for. He likes to give us a little bit of variety in our series. Aquila doing some good work here, got the rocks up, and then is going to be able to get some good punches off on the fire types here. Kakarot going to come in and get stone edged and go down. Aquila doing great work in this battle. Not necessarily able to do great work throughout the entirety of the gym, but does what we need him to do for the most part. So thank you so much for participating this week, Codeman. I greatly appreciate it, and for making our teams a little more varied and interesting. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see what the rest of you Fire Gym Trainers have got in store for us today, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty, Gym Trainer number 2 comes up against Rocker Espresso Cat and his fire team. D. Grohl coming in with the hidden power, doing good work on Aquila, but Aquila able to get the rocks and the stone edge up, doing good work finishing off the Typhlosion. Embor comes in, going to force out Aquila, Dopey switching in at that point, and going to take the hit from the Embor. Embor going to throw up the power-up punch, which is going to end up doing really good work to Dopey. Dopey starts setting up with the Calm Mind, but not going to survive through another Thunder Punch from the Embor, and is going to end up going down. At which point Bert switches in. Bert's going to throw up that Earthquake, finishing off the Embor. That's going to bring in T. Hawkins, and T. Hawkins is going to force Bert out, bringing in Luna. Luna's going to be immune to the Psychic attack from the Delphox. Going to throw up the Foul Play on the Charizard, which is going to almost take it out with the rocks damage, but unfortunately is not going to until the next turn, allowing Charizard to finish us or hit us with the hard acrobatics. Luna then going to throw up the Wish as the Incineroar throws up the Roar. Going to switch Aquila in then, hoping that Aquila can take or get the Wish, but unfortunately Aquila going to go down to the Earthquake, so that Wish goes to nobody. Tika switches in with the Rock Blast. Unfortunately, is not going to hit the Rock Blast and is going to go down to Darkest Lariat, which I'm assuming is like Spirit Shackle, but for Incineroar. It's their species-specific move. Hanu throws up the Shell Smash and the Aqua Jet, but not able to finish off the Incineroar, so going to go down, leaving us with just 2 Pokemon. Bert able to come in and outspeed there, though, thankfully, and set up the Earthquake on both the Incineroar and the Delphox, finishing off the battle for us there, but very, very close considering ECAT only had a team of 5. We could have potentially been in trouble there if he had had one more Pokemon. That could have potentially been bad, but Luna and Bert doing good work and getting us battle number 2 in the Fire Gym this week. So, thank you so much for participating, ECAT. Let's see what the rest of the Fire Trainers have in store. Here we go. Alrighty guys, up against Gym Trainer, Mac, Arctic Animal, and Teacup switching in, setting up that sun. A lot of drought Torkoals this week. I think he even makes it into the thumbnail because of it, because yeah, we had a lot of Torkoals to deal with. Bulky little buggers and pretty good power there. You see the Solar Beam previously finishing off Aquila there in one hit. Now obviously Aquila's not a terribly bulky Pokemon, and that's a pretty strong move considering the circumstances, but that's alright. Luna is going to get burned. Synchronize is going to fail thanks to Harry's fire type there. Throwing up the Protect, trying to stall out the Sun, because you can't let that thing go on, especially now that Torkoal's dead, hoping that that you don't have another Sun Setter on the team, which most people do not throughout the course of the battle, or the gym here today. Luna is going to Heal Bell off that burn damage, start throwing up the Foul Plays, doing good work against Harry, taking it under half. Luna then going to throw up the Foul Play, thinking that Harry's still going to be there. The switch, Panera is going to take that hit, and then Luna is going to switch out, bringing in Bert. Bert's going to take a Will-O-Wisp there, and then I think probably just go for the Earthquake. Yes, we do go for the Earthquake. It's 4 times effective, so even with the burn, Panera is going to go down. Bert is here exclusively for Mold Breaker. I honestly, well, I may have, because I almost put a Rotom Heat on my team, actually. Thinking that would be some good resistances and things like that, but I did not. But I wanted that Mold Breaker in case of like people bringing in Weezings or some of these other levitating mons. Wanted to make sure we had an answer for that. So Mold Breaker Bert it is. unfortunately, Ryobi's evolution is not in this tier. Those would have brought him. Tika lands the Rock Blast up on Incineroar, and El Tigre is going to go down, that last one being a crit, finishing it off. Then Tika is going to take a Fire Spin from Brittany, and Brittany is going to take another Rock Blast from Tika, and that is going to get us within range of finishing it off in one hit, well, in one turn at least, and then that leaves the Entei, and Entei's going to come in with that Flare Blitz, finish off Tika without too much trouble. Tika's going to go down, bringing in Hanu. Hanu's going to take the Flare Blitz, not going to do a ton there, and going to have the opportunity then to set up the Shell Smash. That Shell Smash is going to allow us to outspeed and throw up the Earthquake, finishing off the Entei and claiming victory in battle number 3 today. So, yeah. Thank you so much for participating, Mac. Mac did raise a concern, potentially, that these gym weeks, I'm sometimes a little OP, which, yeah, I did some good planning this week, and I was able to counter most things. In fact, pretty able to counter most things. So I think probably, and we brought it up in the Discord. Not a lot of people really had a whole lot of worries about it, but I want this to be fun for both you and me, and I don't really care if I win every single battle, so I will try not to be quite as OP in the future. We'll just kind of see how it goes. It's hard when you guys are monotype, and I can prepare pretty well, even if I don't have like all water types or all ground types. Unfortunately, fire is one of those types that has a lot of weaknesses, so I was pretty much everybody had something that they could counter. So it wasn't really any weak links on my team necessarily, except for maybe Aquila, but Aquila had his uses as well. But he went down pretty much every battle. So anyway, guys, let's jump into battle number 4. I just want to let you guys know that I do understand, and I will try my best to not be so OP in the future. Alrighty, here we go. Next battle. Alrighty, guys, battle number 4, and the Sun Torkoal leading off again. Torkoal throwing up that Stealth Rocks. Aquila unfortunately missing with the Stone Edge here. Getting toxicked by the Torkoal. Unfortunately, the second Stone Edge missing as well. The Stealth Rocks then coming up from the Torkoal, unfortunately, putting hazards on our side of the field. Landing that Stone Edge, not enough to kill. Torkoal is a pretty sturdy bloke, and the Rapid Spin is going to remove the Stone Edge. Aquila then, I think, is going to just throw... Oh no, throws up the Stone Edge here, so that works out pretty nicely. Going to take some toxic damage here, I believe. Yeah, I take this opportunity before Aquila goes down to get the rocks back up, because with this being a fire gym, I was like, I want rocks up. You know, it's going to do some good damage as people switch in and out. Hanu, unfortunately, not able to finish off with the... Aqua Jet, but able to eat its Lumberry and get rid of any kind of status. I expected a lot of burn, a lot of Will-O-Wisp and stuff on from this gym, and so a couple of people, I think maybe Tika and Honey, both had Lumberries. Bert gonna take a hard Thunderbolt. I also have Heal Bell on Luna to help get rid of that stuff too. So yeah, expecting a lot of stat stuff. Got far less than I expected, though, honestly, as Dopey switches into just me those Emboar. Emboar throwing up that superpower, lowering its own defenses, and Dopey, I believe, probably forcing Emboar out. Yep, Emboar comes on out. Torkoal going to take some hard rocks damage, but get the sun back up, so that's going to be extremely helpful to the remainder of its team. Rotom switching in, taking some rocks damage. Dopey getting forced out by the Rotom. Luna switching into the Volt Switch there. Umbreon is so freakishly bulky. I really want to... I don't know if there's any way to really use Umbreon appropriately. I've been looking at... let me backtrack. Use Umbreon appropriately in Gen 2 games. Because we're doing a Pokemon Crystal Wedlock soon, and Umbreon is probably my favorite evolution, so I was considering maybe trying to go for that. But looking at some of the level up movesets of the Pokemon in that generation, like even Pokemon that are amazing in later generations, seeing that seeing the movesets that they've got is challenging, because they're all just garbage. So I don't know. We probably will end up using Umbreon, just because I don't know, unless we get to a point it's like, oh no, we desperately need, you know, this type or something, then we'll maybe do that. But stones are really hard to come by in Gen 2, so who knows? Tika gonna finish off just me those Darmanitan. Rotom then switching in. See, the rocks are doing real good damage for us here this week. As the switching in and out goes against the fire type teams, it works out pretty nicely for us. Emboar gonna take some hard rocks here as well. Luna is going to take a wild charge and go down to 8%. throwing up that Wish, and then probably hiding behind the Protect this turn. Yep, hiding behind that Protect. We'll get our Wish at the end of the turn and get healed up there. Luna taking another Wild Charge, doing some good damage, but Emboar going down to Recoil. The Foul Play having nobody to make contact with, and then Rotom comes in, and the Rocks take it down to 1%. Luna survives the Thunderbolt, but gets the Foul Play up and finishes off the Rotom, taking down Just Me, though. So thank you so much for a great battle, Just Me, though. I appreciate you participating week after week. Really means a lot that you guys continue to support this series as frequently as you do. We've got a handful, not a handful, we got quite a few battles to get through those still, so we're going to jump into the next Gym Trader battle, but thank you so much for participating, Just Me, though. I greatly appreciate it. Here we go. Alright, Gym Trainer Celine Eleanor coming at us with Drought Torkoal, and a little bit of a different team here. A lot of similarity this week, but you guys all used it pretty well, but we do see a Larvesta on this team, which is interesting. Probably mainly you probably can't get its evolution in this lower tier, so that's probably why it's there. There we go. So we throw up the Protect. The Cross Chop doing good damage against Luna. Want to heal up a little bit before we switch out, so we go ahead and sit behind that Protect. Tika going to take a hard Cross Chop there. Tika then is going to throw up the Rock Blast up against the Incineroar. Incineroar must be slow as crap. Because Tika is very, very slow. Its final evolution loses a lot of the speed advantage that the earlier evolutions have. Not quite as quick and agile as previous evolutions, but Tika's got pretty good power in its final Toucan form. Not enough to finish off the Torkoal, however, going for the Will-O-Wisp there. Tika does have the Lumberry, so the Will-O-Wisp wouldn't have been a terribly effective thing anyway. Tika is going to go up against the Entei. The Rock Blast is going to break the sub on the second hit. And then the remaining hits will serve to finish off the Entei here. No, the Entei hangs on. The Stone Edge going to land, finishing off Tika. So there we go. That's right. Lycanroc then going to come in. Aquila going to, having survived the beginning of the battle, able to come in with the priority Accelerock, finishing off the Entei there. Aquila then going to throw up the Stone Edge, finishing off Rotom. Rotom going to go down, allowing Larvesta to come in, who's going to take almost half damage from the rocks. Stone Edge doing some good RNG and actually landing, finishing off the Larvesta, leaving it up to Toffee the Salazzle to come in, forcing Aquila out, bringing in Dopey. Dopey is going to take that Flamethrower very well, and then is going to take a hard Sludge Wave, but going to get the Psyshock up and go down, or going to take down then Toffee. So thank you so much for participating this week, Celine Eleanor. I greatly appreciate it. You guys, it was a lot of fun. This series is always fun. I hope you guys are having fun. I guess to Mac's earlier point, I hope you guys are all having fun with the series. If there are any tweaks, like, you know, Max raised some concerns. If there are any tweaks to the series, since this series is largely intended to be fun for you guys, let me know. Let me know if there's anything we can do to make things better for you. Let me know. But thank you so much for participating, Celine. I greatly appreciate it. Let's jump into the next one, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, Amir is bad at Pokemon, but great at Showdown as Macargo comes in and gets the Stealth Rocks up, forcing Aquila out, bringing in Bert. Bert's Mold Breaker activates, going to take some toxic damage there, and then going to throw up the Earthquake probably. We'll see, the Torkoal, nope, we throw up the Close Combat for the Rock type, but going to have enough power behind it to actually finish off the bulky Torkoal, so that works out. Torkoal gets the Sun up, however, and the Close Combat going to land, finishing off the Macargo, probably expecting the switch because of the Toxic and the defense lowering. In fact, I think at this point we do go ahead and switch. Yep, Bert comes on out, bringing in Luna. Luna is going to take the Will-O-Wisp. The Sacred Eyes doesn't work again because obviously we're up against Fire types, so Luna's going to take some burn damage there. Probably going to throw up the Heal Bell at this point, not really interested in taking any damage that we don't need to. Yep, so the Toxic on Bert and the burn on Luna are then healed. Going to protect to kind of stall out the Sun here. Sun fades, Torkoal is gone, so hopefully that means we can avoid it in the future. Dopey then switching in, going to take the Fire Lash from the Heatmore, lowering the defenses a bit. The Sucker Punch not going to land as Dopey starts setting up some Calm Minds here. I've never actually used a Slowking before. This is interesting. I wanted to just because I figured it'd be something different. Slowking's stats are pretty much identical to Slowbro's except for it's specially defensive as opposed to physically defensive. So that's another interesting one that might be, if we get the opportunity in the Crystal Wedlock to get a Slowking, that might be interesting. I'm not sure where the King's Rock is available, but getting that Surf up on the Darmanitan there, withstanding some hits, Probably not going to withstand another one, given how low we are in health and defense, but there we go, going down, even with the 2-time special defense raise. Aquila then switching in, forcing out the Pyroar. Pyroar is going to bring in Camerupt, which is going to go ahead and take the Stone Edge and the Accelerock, going down itself, leaving Amir just with the Pyroar, and Pyroar is going to take some rocks damage and then an Accelerock and go out. So, Aquila doing some good work in that battle as well. Thank you so much for participating, Amir. Amir always has the humorous backstory about how they've dropped so far from being the gym leader in week 2 to now previously an evil team member even, and now they're, you know, fighting their way back up the ladder in the fire gym. It's pretty entertaining. So thank you so much for participating each week, Amir. I greatly appreciate it. Let's jump into the next one, shall we? Here we go. All right, the Admiral Emulot coming in here with the Drought Torkoal. Aquila setting up those rocks. Rocks getting set up by the Torkoal as well. The Stone Edge going to land, doing good damage on the Torkoal. Torkoal going to get the Rapid Spin to get rid of our rocks and then switch out, bringing in Wheezing, Respierre. And then Aquila is going ahead and get the rocks back up. Not really interested in you guys having no hazard, so Aquila makes sure he does that before he switches on out into Bert. Bert's got the Mold Breaker, so he's going to be able to Earthquake almost said Fumes again, the Wheezing here. Wheezing is still pretty defensive, so Earthquake not enough to finish, and then in the Sun, with a crit Flamethrower, we're able to take down Bert. So, yeah, the main counter I brought for Wheezings and things like that is now gone. The Pain Split able to get Wheezing up in a range we're not going to be able to finish it off with a Psyshock. Decided to go for the Calm Mind. Unfortunately for Psyshock is one of those moves that was in the recommended set for Slowking, as opposed to Psychic, but what it does in this instance is it's targeting the physical defense as opposed to the special defense, which doesn't do me a whole lot of good. I should have put regular Psychic on Slowking. That was a mistake on my behalf. I should have looked at that and been like, no, for the purposes I need, that doesn't really work, because using a Psychic move that's targeting the physical defense of a Wheezing only helps the Wheezing. Aquila then is going to come in as Slowking goes down, taking a hard Wild Charge from the Rapidash and actually landing the Stone Edge, which is going to finish off the shiny Rapidash there. I thought Shiny Rapidash was more blue. That one looked more purpley, so I'm not really sure what was going on there. Probably just what Shiny Rapidash looks like these days, but Hanu is going to come in, set up the Shell Smash. Yeah, the Wild Charge comes in from the Emboar. Hanu's actually going to just barely hang on to it and use the Earthquake to finish off the Emboar. At which point, Carapat is going to come in, throw up the Protect there. Hanu's going to use the Earthquake, but it's obviously not going to land. Then the Earthquake will land after the next turn and finish off the shiny Turtonator. Then the Magmortar switches in with the Protect, going to get the Earthquake off the next turn, however, and finish off the Magmortar, allowing us to claim victory. Woo! So, thank you so much for participating, the Admiral Emulot. I greatly appreciate it. We've got a handful more here. I think 4 more battles for you guys today, so let's jump right into it before this episode gets far too long. But, thank you so much for participating again, Admiral Emulot. I greatly appreciate it. Here we go. Alrighty guys, up against Gym Trainer Scad, and Scad bringing in the Torkoal as well. Aquila sets up the rocks as the Solar Beam comes out from the Torkoal, finishing Aquila off easily there. Then we're going to set up the Protect as Torkoal throws up the Rapid Spin. Unfortunately, I don't have a Ghost on the team that could potentially negate that. So Torkoal able to land that Rapid Spin, and Aquila is gone. Aquila was my only rock setter, so unfortunately not really going to have an answer there. Luna, I think, yeah, Luna comes out at that point. Scad even says, quits trying to stall my son as using Protect and then switching into Dopey, who can take pretty much anything that the Torkoal was going to set up. Dopey, however, going to take a Thunderbolt, which is not quite as easy to take from the Magmortar, but survives with enough HP to be able to finish off the Magmortar. Tomahawk then switches in, finishing off the Slowking, allowing Hanu to come in, set up the Shell Smash, so we get a free Shell Smash there, which allows us to outspeed the Electivire and finish it off. So that was really lucky. Scad decided to go off-type there, which you guys are all welcome to do. If you feel like going strictly monotype is too difficult, I've tried to make this clear to you guys. If you can make any kind of logical argument yourself, I'm willing to accept it. And so I'm sure Electivire probably had Fire Punch or something on it, and so Scad was willing to bring it, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But thankfully I was able to finish it off early because I was like, I don't really want to. Electivire could be scary. Would have been easy. Usually, you might see Frost Chop on those. You might see Earthquake on those. You might see like pretty much everything else I had left. I was like, ooh, Electivire could be bad. So glad Hani was able to finish that off. Tika going down to the Fletchinder. Luna then switching in as the Fletchinder sets up the Sword Stance, throwing up the Foul Play and finishing off the Fletchinder. I think Foul Play. Scad. I wasn't expecting the Oko there, but I think Foul Plays must do something. It does more power based on the attack of your opponent or something like that. So the Sword Dance actually gave us a boost against the Fletchinder there. So thank you so much for participating, Scad. Your avatar is Flannery, so good to see you doing a good showing in the Fire Gym. I greatly appreciate you participating week after week. But yeah, we've got 3 more to jump into, so let's go ahead and do those now. Thank you guys once again. Here we go. Alrighty guys, up against Fire Breather Adram, and Addy is going to U-turn out on Aquila immediately as Aquila sets up the Stealth Rocks, bringing in the Embor. Embor going to force Aquila out, bringing in Dopey. Even being more specially defensive, Dopey's able to take that Earthquake pretty well. The Grass not doing a whole lot either. Even without the Calm Mind boost, able to do pretty decent damage to the Embor here. Embor switching out in favor of Turtonator. The Surf not going to do quite as much to the Turtonator, although doing decent in combined with the Rocks. So the Rocks doing good work there as well. Dopey setting up the Calm Mind, getting a little bit back from leftovers. The Dragon Claw not going to be enough to finish Dopey off. And then the Slack Off is going to heal Dopey back up a little bit there. At which point the Dragon Claw is going to come in, not even get us below half, but the Surf is going to go ahead and finish off the Turtonator. So Dopey going good work there. Rotom then going to switch in, which is going to throw up a Thunderbolt up against Dopey. Dopey unfortunately getting paralyzed at the same time. The Psychic, or the Psyshock, not doing quite as much to Rotom as we would like, and then Dopey is going to go down. Bert then switches in with his Mold Breaker and going to go up against the Rotom with that Earthquake. Going to come out on top at that point. Magmortar switching in and is going to take an Earthquake as well. So Bert doing some good work here for us. Darmanitan going to come in. Going to Flare Blitz Bert. Bert is pretty fragile. If a move gets off on him, he seems to go down. So not too surprising there. Aquila and Bert going out to the Darmanitan. Darmanitan at least taking some damage there from Recoil. The Flare Blitz is going to go ahead and do really good damage to Luna, but Luna able to finish off with the Foul Play there. Embor then switching in, taking some Rocks damage, getting that Hammer Arm off, finishing off the Umbreon there, leaving us with just Tika and just Hanu. Tika at that point going to throw up the Rock Blast. I believe it misses though. No, it does not. It connects this time and finishes off the Houndoom without too much trouble at all. At which point Embor comes in, taking more Rocks damage, but the Flare Blitz going to land. Critical hit, finishing off Tika. Unfortunately for Addy, though, the Recoil itself is going to finish off the Embor, and we still have Hanu sitting there in the wings, so we take victory there today. So, very, very close battle. Addy was almost one of the gym lead. Well, one of the gym leaders was almost a gym leader. We had 3 battles that I was considering this week that we got very, very close in, Addy being one of them. So thank you so much for participating this week, Addy. I greatly appreciate you supporting my subscriber engagement series. It means a lot. Let's jump into the next battle, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, up against Klungar here, Fire Breather Klungar as well, it would appear. The Toxic Lizard is going to use the Fake Out, which activates the Steadfast on Aquila, boosting our speed a little bit. Aquila able to get the Rocks up, but taking a hard hidden power there while surviving, allowing us to move up and finish off with the Stone Edge, though the Life Orb damage taking out Aquila. At which point Tika switches in, Fox is going to set up the Drought. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that that we didn't see more not Vulpix, Ninetales in this. It almost makes me wonder. No, this wasn't RU battle. I was like, I almost wonder if Drought Ninetales isn't RU. I would have actually expected it would have been higher in the tier, but most of you guys decided to go Torkoal for your Sunsetters. No, I think Klungar's the only one who brought a Ninetales this week, so that was interesting. Bert able to throw up the Earthquake, but Torkoal very, very bulky and able to withstand the Earthquake to get the rocks up. Plasma then going to switch in and take the Earthquake as well. Klungar, he was battling on his phone and didn't realize the Mold Breaker was there, so yeah, kind of switched into that unknowingly. Entei then going to Sacred Fire, finishing off Bert. Cole coming in and taking some hard damage, but getting the sun set back up as Hanu shell smashes away. Hanu is then probably going to throw up the Aqua Jet just to finish. No, goes for the Earthquake there, knowing it can outspeed, finishing off the Torkoal. Blazing, the Darmanitan then switches in, going to get its own Earthquake off and take Hanu very far down. But even with the defense lowering, Hanu able to withstand it. And probably thanks to his solid rock ability, those super effective moves doing less than full damage. Hanu then going out to the Entei. Entei throwing up the extreme speed up against Dopey. Dopey able to slack off and heal up, getting out of the sun, and then able to throw the surf up on the Entei, taking a battle, well, whatever battle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, battle number 10, taking battle number 10 this week. So thank you so much for participating, Klungar. It was a very close battle, and if you had known about Mold Breaker, stuff like that, it probably would have been much closer. So, great battle this week. I appreciate you taking the time out and getting a battle in. It means a lot to me. So, we have one more battle this week, our gym leader this week, and then we'll move on to the spreadsheet and see what we're doing next week. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Alrighty, guys, battle number 11 up against gym leader Yesh, and Yesh is actually, I misspoke. We have another Ninetales here in the gym battle. Ninetales, the one coming up out front, setting up the sun. We get the rocks up at least before Aquila goes down. Bert able to get the Earthquake off to finish off the Turtonator, at which point the Soul Rock, there it is. So another off type here, which is awesome though. Soul Rock is definitely a fiery type, not a fire type Pokemon, but I think it's Rock Psychic or whatever. But I think it fits. I think it fits the theme perfectly. So cool to see. Cool to see the Soul Rock come in. Luna able to handle it pretty well. The Trick Room is set up at this point. So Torkoal, I almost said Turtonator again. Torkoal able to get outspeed, get that rapid spin off, and Luna switching out, not able to do enough damage against its fellow bulky Pokemon there to be worth keeping in. Tika going down to an Eruption. Bert switching back in. The Trick Room is now over, so Bert able to outspeed and get a good Earthquake off on Duke Nukem, but Duke Nukem not able to finish off Bert with an Eruption, doing actually surprisingly little damage. And Bert going to take a hard Fire Blast from the Ninetales and go down. Luna then switching in at that point, going to throw up the Protect here, just trying to stall out the sun. Now that Torkoal's gone, hoping that we can get the sun very close to done, and then get some good damage off on the Ninetales so we don't have to worry about it. Nyx switching in to a hard Foul Play as we get healed up by the Wish. That Flare Blitz taking Luna down very far, but recoiling Nyx into Oblivion, so that works out pretty well for us. Luna throwing up the Protect there as the Dragon Pulse comes from Smaug. Luna able to protect up and heal. Gonna take a hard Solar Beam though and go down, at which point we are left just with Dopey and just with Hanu up against Solar Beaming Charizard in the sun. Definitely scary. Hanu is going to take a hard Solar Beam, and then Dopey is going to switch in, at which point the Ninetales is going to come back in to get the sun set up. We get the Surf going, but not able to do a lot of damage in the sun against the Vulpix, so I decided to switch over to the Psyshock. Psyshock doing a little bit better, finally landing the toxic damage on us though, as Spook's going to go down to another Psyshock. So we have a toxic Slowking in the sun up against a Solar Beaming Charizard. Dopey is going to land the Psyshock, but I think it's over. I think we've lost here, but the Solar Power finishing off the Charizard, its ability boosting attack power, but taking an eighth of its HP every turn in the sun. And so I think it's over, but then suddenly Charizard drops, and I'm like, what? Like I said no in the chat as soon as Charizard survived my hit, and I was like, wait a second, hold on, wait, how do I win? So very, very close. That's why Yesh gets the gym leader this week, just because it was super, I mean, it came down to single digit HP at that point, and Charizard's ability handicapping it and taking it down before his time, allowing us to claim victory. So very, very cool. Thank you so much for participating this week, Yesh. I greatly appreciate it. And congratulations on being the fire type gym leader. Alrighty. So that is all of our gym battles for this week, guys. Thank you guys all so much for participating. Let's jump over to the spreadsheet and see what we're going to be doing next week, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty, guys, so here we are back at the spreadsheet. We finished off the first gym in RU, and as we've been doing, that means we've got to roll for our encounter type for the next week to figure out what we're going to run into on our way to the next gym. So we can either have a rival battle, run into a root trainer, or encounter the evil team once again. So let's see, we've got to randomize between 1 and 3. Let's see what we've got. Okay, 1. There we go. Well, alright, so that means a rival battle this week. So you guys have to age up your Little Cup rival teams there. I guess we haven't really done rival battles since the first rival battle. So, it'll be interesting to see where our rivals' journeys have taken them since our first encounters. Take a look at who your starter was in that first week, and if you didn't participate in that first week, just make up a starter, and we'll see you guys there. There's no if you're not able to participate in an earlier week, it doesn't preclude you from participating in future weeks. So you're more than welcome to pick a starter and build a team as if you were the rival of mine, and we will see how that's going. Again, legal RU teams will be in the RU tier until after the next week when we do the second gym battle in RU, and that will then close out RU for us. We're spending kind of 4 weeks in each tier. So there we go. So build your RU rival teams. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that quite a bit, seeing how your guys' teams have evolved since we first met back at the professor's labs when I got Hanu and you guys got all of your starters, so that'll be very interesting. But yeah, so put your teams together. Seemed to work pretty well last week. Some of the earlier ones in the time slots in the week were a little light. Did most of my battling on Wednesday for the most part. So I think we're going to do the same time slots this week, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below if potentially shifting some things around might make a little more sense for you guys. If Monday is just, no matter, even if it's, 36 hours after the episode comes out, if Monday is just too soon for you guys to be able to get teams together. I think I did have one battle maybe on Monday. I think I battled Mac Monday, and then that was it. I think maybe I battled just me though and Addy on the Tuesday morning slot, and then Codeman maybe later that afternoon, but then everybody else was on Wednesday. So just let me know. I think we're going to do the same thing we did last week. So Monday night from 5 to 6 p.m. EST, Tuesday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. EST, and then Wednesday afternoon from 12 to 1 p.m. EST. Those are going to be the 3 time slots again this week. It seemed to work out pretty well for most people, but if let me know for real, because most of you guys ended up in the last time slot of the week. So if you have if you guys have thoughts on potentially how we should shift some of those time slots around, it's still going to be 1 morning, 1 afternoon, and 1 evening at this point. But if we can shuffle that a little bit to make it a little more sense for you guys, I'm willing to do that. Just let me know in the comments down below what you're thinking. But yeah, get your rival RU teams together. So we've got a rival battle in RU. So go ahead and get those teams put together, and we will see you guys all back here starting tomorrow evening, I hope. Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. EST, Tuesday from 7 to 8 a.m. EST, and Wednesday from 12 to 1 p.m. EST. I hope to see you guys out there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've been TortimerTheGreyYT, and you guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see y'all back here next time. Alrighty, guys. Have a good one.